Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Felita and this is Seasons Redefined. On this channel, I do videos all about the starting and operating of my small candle and handcrafted business. In today's video, I am going to be, number one, opening up a package that I have here. It's just, I'm hoping what it is the batteries for my GoPro. And let me just say, I am so tired. I have been up since about 3 or 4 o'clock this morning. It is now, I don't even know what time it is, like 7 or 8 at night. So I'm just exhausted at this point, but I have not been in the studio at all this week, so I have got to get some things done. So let me first open this up. And I do save these little thingies for whenever I send out, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Whenever I send out anything to anyone. I also save my boxes as well. So I am going to go ahead and get this set up real quick. And then what I plan to do is blend a couple of fragrances. They've been sitting back here on this cabinet for a while, the countertop for a while, and I have not, I haven't blended anything. That means that I can't make anything because nothing's blended. So, and y'all just have to forgive me. I am a bit scatterbrained today. I probably don't need to be mixing anything. But I am just putting this down so that hopefully I won't mess anything up. Get some gloves. And we'll start with these 2 fragrances. I have my fan on here because I'm just so hot. So you'll have to excuse the paper blowing and all that kind of stuff. So this is my formula for my fragrance. It just tells me the amount of fragrance oil that I need in relation to the wax, and it also helps me when I am mixing my fragrances. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get all the supplies that I need to go ahead and mix up a few, let you guys see exactly my process, because all of my candles are custom blends, which means that I can take 2, I can take 3 or 4, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can take whatever blends that I come up with, and then from there I will mix them to a fragrance of my liking, or I typically send them out to people and they kind of tell me what it is that they like and don't like, and that's kind of how I tweak my fragrances. So that's kind of basically what I do in a nutshell. So give me just one moment and I will go ahead and get this set up. Okay, so I think I have everything, and if I don't, I'll just have to find it. So what I was saying before is my formula is here, and it's for my blend. When you're blending scents, and if you guys want me to go into detail, like more detail about how I do a blend, or I can do that. But just kind of in a nutshell, once you decide on your fragrances, and once you decide basically your ratio for that particular fragrance, that is when you can start blending them in bulk. Like for me, if I'm making multiple candles, it's easier for me to already have everything pre-mixed. Now your blend is your own, whatever you set. We could have the exact same scents. We can both choose to do a strawberry and a banana, but you may choose to do a 50-50, where I may choose to do an 80-20. So those are still custom blends. So someone that buys your candle may like your blend better than someone that, than what my blend would be. But anyway, basically how the whole blending process works. But like I said, if you want me to go into more detail about how I do that, I'll be more than happy to make a video. Just leave it in the comment section below and I'll do that. But I will go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I do, I use this little pouring picture and I set my scale to grams, and then I go back in and I zero it out, and then I typically take the higher of the two fragrances, meaning if I have one that's just say a 70-30, I'll take the 70. I don't know why I do that, it just works in my mind that way. So again, looking at my formula, I know exactly which scent I need to get. Zero out my scale. Oh my God. So from here, I use these little containers because it can hold quite a bit. So, and I'll take this amount and I'll just pour it into my container. And I'm just doing this. I don't need to make a lot of honestly, what I probably need to do is blend it all, but I'm not doing that. I'm really just doing it for demonstration purposes because I do need to just make a small batch. So it's on zero again, and check my formula. I check my scent and I pour. Are probably a gram off, so I am just going to, well, first I am going to close this up before I make a mess, and then secondly I'm just going to pour this fragrance into here. This is just this is just alcohol, and I just pretty much wipe everything down with it when I can. The other thing, I try to always have my, why can't I think? I'm just so tired. My air purifier on when I'm mixing my scents. So, shake it and we are good to go. So, this is enough for me to make, I think my formula is for 5 candles. So, well, what I did my calculations for is for 5 candles. So what I would do at that point is take this and put it back. And these are new containers. The containers that I was using before was just the old containers. Whatever my scents would come in, I would just pre-mix or remix it and put them back into these containers. But then I felt like I needed to have more. Because I was beginning to make more candles and I was getting tired of, and then I wasn't buying as much oil either. So anyway, that's pretty much how we do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out a bit and we'll get started on another. Now before I do start mixing additional scents, I do try to clean it out, but when I'm mixing like just those two, it doesn't matter because those are the 2 scents that's going into the candle anyway. So. To stick with the 2 cent thing. So first up, make sure my scale is on 0, but it's not on grams. Zero it out. First up, well, let me check. And I know this is probably a bit of overkill, but I do this every single time that I mix scents because I don't, or when I blend scents, because I don't want to mess it up. The fragrance oils cost way too much money for me to mess up. And granted, I could do like a oops sale or something like that. But anyway, I just try to be as careful as I can. So what I do is go back over to my desk and I look at the next scent that I'm going to blend and I do the calculations manually. So that's what I am going to do now. Actually, I'm glad that I do. This is kind of my checks and balances system. So I always pull my scents and I put them here and I put the name of the candle along with the scents that I pull. Well, when I get ready to actually blend the scents, I go back over to my book because I always make a list of the fragrances. I make a list of how much I have. I also have that in my inventory system as well, but it's kind of like a check and balance. So for me, when I went over to my sheet, what I noticed was I didn't have enough of this to do the amount of candles that I am going to need. So because I have that check and balance system going on, I know that I need to order more of this. I can make some. And I think that's probably what I'll do, is make what I can until the new. I think that's what I'll do. So it may not be quite as much, but that's another way. You have to have some type of system set up as well, so that you'll know, when you need to order. Make sure you're not messing, anything up when you're blending. You have to be really, really careful. Excuse me. So let's see. It smells so good in here, y'all. I mean, it is like, so good. I love them. I love them. Okay. So, turn this back on. And we'll start with what I think I'm going to blend first. Basically how I blend fragrances. I decide on the fragrances that I want to blend, and I decide on the percentage that I want to have in the candle, and then from there I decide basically what I want to be my top note, my middle note, and my base note. Like, what do I want to come through in that particular candle, if I'm blending more than one. So, here, and I will add my labels, and that's basically how I do my scents. So what I'm going to do, I'll probably, because I am so tired, I wanted to get in the studio. I'll probably finish the rest of these up off camera, and I'll check back in with you guys on tomorrow, and I'll see what we're going to start making, whether it's candles or air, room and linen mist, or car deodorant. I don't know. At this point, I have no idea what I'm going to make. I do know that I have a list, and I may just try to prioritize that tonight before I get in bed on what I am going to, in the order in which I'm going to do it. So anyway, that's all for today. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey y'all, so today, I think it's, day 4 of this particular vlog. Today I am going to make my candles. I have everything already lined up and ready to go. I was actually just now adding up what I needed as far as wax and fragrance oil so that when I start, I'll just be able to go. I mentioned, I think on maybe my previous vlog, how I typically do things because all of my scents are blended. So I'll just run through that really quickly for you. This will probably be a fairly quick video today, or snapshot today, only because it is extremely late. I have work in the morning, my son has school, and I'm tired. I worked all day. My daughter had cheer practice, my son had kickboxing and basketball, so today was a very busy day. But anyway, outside of all of that, let me get myself together and then we'll go ahead and start making some candles. So we will start with my first fragrance. And one other thing that makes it a little bit easier for me, I'm not sure how many scents you guys have, but you probably see the different pouring pictures here. But what makes it easier for me, my scents are labeled with the name, and then I have a corresponding pouring picture for that scent. So that way, even though I still have to clean my canners, my pouring pitchers and things of that nature, I don't have to clean them as often because I'm only putting this particular scent in this pouring pitcher always. So first up is my scent called Not Today. And let me just give this a real quick stir. I've already checked my temperature. I'll go ahead and check it again. Okay. So we are good to go here. Y'all, I messed it up. I didn't even turn my my scale on. Why y'all do that? Why y'all let me not turn my scale on? My other scale. I got another scale because I thought that one was not doing right, and I guess it was user error. Now this is the part that always irks me. I have misplaced my beakers. I have no idea where they are, well, my larger beakers, and I think I probably left them. I did like a little pouring party for a friend of mine a few weeks back, and I think I left them. And so anyway, now I have to clean this each and every time. So I do need to, that's one thing that I do need to invest in, is another or a set of beakers so that I can have, and just make sure that I'll have like travel stuff, and then I'll have this stuff, if that makes sense. So just in case you're wondering what I'm looking at over here, on this my desk over here, I have the amount of wax that I'm using is the same for all of the candles, because I'm making all of the same candle sizes, but the amount of fragrance is what's different between the candles. Can't speak. And that's what I'm looking at, just to make sure that I'm putting the right amount in each candle, because the fragrance load is not the same for all of my candles. So that's what I'm looking at. And one other thing, typically I do when I'm doing I'm making candles, but I'm also testing these candles. Usually, or typically with tester candles, what I do is a wickless candle, which is what I'll show you here today. And basically a wickless candle is where I just pour the wax, and then I kind of guesstimate on the size of the wick, but I don't actually use a wick sticker the way that I did with these. I'll clip the wick and put the holes in, and this is usually what I use, and it's just a skewer, but I'll put the holes in, and then I'll stick my wick in, and then I'll test my wick that way. If I need to wick up or wick down, all I have to do is just pull that wick out of the candle. The reason that I did go ahead and put these in, because I'm 99.9% sure on the wick size. I did make some changes to my candles, which is why I'm doing this additional testing. But I also, so this is pretty much how this goes. And I do this. Did make some adjustments to my candle scents, and by adjustments I mean where I may have been ordering from one company, I started ordering the same scent from a different company, so that also required me to do additional testing. I am considering changing up my wicks as well, because the company that I'm ordering from now, there is a huge shipping fee. So unless I'm ordering like a lot of items at one time, it's just too costly for me to continue to just order maybe one product here and one product there. It's just too much. So if I'm having to pay that cost, that means that I in turn have to pass that cost on to you guys, which nobody wants that. So I've been looking at different options to get the supplies that I need, still the quality of the supplies that I need at a lower price. There is a company that's not too far from where I am. I can actually drive there to go pick up products, so that's another reason why I'm doing additional testing. But I personally recommend that if you make small adjustments like that to your candle scents, or whatever, you know, regardless of what it is, I would probably do testing. Anytime I order a different batch of wax, I do testing. And you can just randomly do that, but it's always important to make sure that you're putting out the best possible product. So as you can see, I just had to refill my melter. I am seriously considering getting a larger melter. If you guys know of a good melter for me to use, I kind of sort of know what I want, not 100%, but if you guys know of something, please let me know, whatever suggestions you have. Because like I said, I need one. If I am pouring a lot of candles, I have to constantly stop and feel that thing, and it's not fun. I get tired really quickly. So I have about half of my candles poured. I just had to refill the melter. I definitely need to get something larger. What I think I'm going to do is use this for like my wax melts, the smaller batches that I use, because I think that would be sufficient for that. And then I'll use, and then the larger melter that I get, I think I'll use that for my candles, because me having to stop every 30 minutes to refill, let it melt, do all that, that's for the birds. I cannot. So I'll probably go ahead and end this vlog here. I'll pick up in the morning and try to finish this up, let you guys see these. I don't know if I showed you guys, I think I did. Show you my candles from, these are the ones that I poured yesterday. The tops are really nice and smooth. We don't have any type of frosting, so and I don't even know if I almost broke that. I don't even know if I mentioned it, but typically I try to pour at a slightly cooler temperature, like maybe 125-ish, 130, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm good between 120 and maybe 135, and then I'll add my fragrance at about 175-ish. So that's what I do. I found that it works for me. You may have to do something a little bit different depending on your climate, depending on your oils, your wax and things like that, but I found that works for me. It gives me the best tops. It also, I don't have to worry about like the frosting on the jars or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with what I have going on right now. Again, with the changes that I'm making, I may have to tweak that just a little bit because, you know, I don't know how that's going to affect my actual candles, but we'll know tomorrow. So I will, like I said, I'll go ahead and end the vlog here and we will pick up tomorrow. Hey guys, I know the lighting is terrible. I am going to make this quick. As you can see, I did 3 sets of candles last night. My plan was to get up this morning before what I thought was my typical 9 to 5 work day and do the rest of the candles. That's a whole story, y'all. So I got up this morning, I took my son to school. Before I logged in for work, I wanted to go ahead and finish up the rest of my candles. Well, my internet wasn't working, so I could not log in for work. By the time I did get my internet up and running and logged in, I realized today was a vacation day for me. My daughter has a cheer competition this weekend, and apparently I took off today. That's a whole story. So anyway, it's, I don't know, almost 1 o'clock now. I do have a couple of meetings that are really important that I logged into one earlier today, and I'll be logging into one in a little bit. So I'll try to do what I can right now to get these done. Go ahead and take that meeting, and then I'll finish up in my studio and try to have that done before my son is out for school. So let's go ahead and get started. I mentioned in my previous vlog, which I think was yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday, I can't remember. For you guys, it'll all be in one video, but I could not find my beaker, so I am going to go ahead and place an order for new beakers. I think I left them at a friend's. We did like I did a pouring thingy for her, but anyway, I have everything already poured, so that should speed up the process. I do not recommend plastic cups, but because I knew I was trying to get this done really quickly, I won't be using those, and it's just to prevent me from having to clean this out, stop every single time. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is go ahead and get that done. I am also, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have my GoPro here. I'm trying to get some different footage for you guys, so I'll try to get some of that stuff inserted in for you. You guys can let me know what you think. But let's go ahead and get started. Did it again, y'all. I did not set my scale. I do it every single time. It never fails, regardless of whether I'm recording or not. And this is another reason why I am so glad that I use the same, you know, I don't mix anything in here, and I use the same pitcher every single time. This actually is a new pitcher, so there's no cross-contamination type thing going on. Okay, so we're gonna start again.
Hey guys, so I did not officially do an outro on this video. Basically what you see me doing here is just finishing up the rest of my candles. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. I've gone through the process and I'm sure you've seen it done 1,000,001 times. I do want to thank you guys so much for watching, for those of you that did stay until the end, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.